because this might be super boring. But I'm going to walk around and fill up this map so that I can see what's on here. It would be great if we could find some kind of cool biome. I've actually never in my Minecraft life found a mesa biome. I've used some spawns that I knew had mesa biomes, and I think maybe I've even started a world and flown around and eventually found one, but in none of my worlds where I'm actually playing and doing things like normal, I've never actually found a real honest to goodness mesa biome that spawned normally and naturally. Which if you don't know what a mesa biome is, it has a lot of red clay and orange clay and different colored clays. I think that maybe gold spawns closer to the surface or something like that. I'm not 100% certain because I've never really spent too much time playing in one. But it would be interesting. Also, the ice biome, I can't remember what it's called, but there is there's a lot of mountains here. There's some kind of the ice spike biome or something like that. Some biome that has a lot of ice spikes in it. And I believe in that biome you can get compressed ice. And so that's something that I have never had the fortune of really working with in my Minecraft worlds. So, which it's not something you necessarily need, but I've transported a lot of items using droppers and timers and kind of spitting them out onto ice and putting water on it and stuff like that, and it works really well. I like that way of moving items versus just long hopper tunnels. The problem is that I always have to run them underground because I don't have any compressed ice. And compressed ice won't melt. So I figure we go ahead and grab this coal. If we see any iron too, which is probably not as likely to just kind of see randomly, but if we see any iron, I'm going to probably grab that as well. Because we are not yet iron rich. That is another thing that I need to do once we get some villagers situated and get a villager breeder stood up. Oops, let me pop it up on my map. Certainly don't want to. That's another problem I've had occasionally. You know what? I should have brought a bed, actually. I guess there's enough. I feel like I've seen enough sheep that we probably could make a bed if we wanted to. And I got I also, in my off time, received another microphone. I use a black Yeti microphone. I thought they were called Yeti Blues, but I have a black one. I forget what it is, but it's a pretty nice mic for this kind of recording. I saw one that was on sale, and it was one of the things that I always thought, like, man, if I ever really feel like I could sit down and record some videos for YouTube on Minecraft, I sure would like to clean up the audio and get a microphone that doesn't sound terrible. So that is the mic I'm using right now, and perfect. Here's some sheep, so just in case we need to go to sleep really quick. So that's the mic I'm using right now, and it really works. It really works really well. I'm super pleased with it. Everything always sounds so clean and so good on it, and it's so good I actually feel like I need to clean up the audio sometimes. Go back and edit it, but But so that was something I purchased before I started recording these videos, and that was great. I found it on sale. And for Christmas, I also received another of these microphones, a silver one that was on sale from my mother as she was searching frantically for something to buy me. This was one of the things that I said, hey, you know, if you could find one of these on sale, it would be great, because then if my kids or nephew or anybody else wanted to record a video with me, I would have another good mic to use on their computer, so that we could pick up some good audio. So the audio that I've recorded so far with Quankian, we've been using FaceTime and and just Apple headphones on his side, because there was I forget what the issue was. Whenever we were trying to do setup, we had some kind of an issue with the mic where I think now I know how to fix it. I think I just wasn't selecting the proper input whenever we were trying to do the FaceTime audio, and so the audio was not coming through right. But this was just very early on, and in that case, you know, we just really wanted to play. So, you know, I kind of just used the standard Apple ear pods, and it sounded good. You know, I think it still sounds pretty good. I don't know that it's I feel like I can hear a difference whenever I listen to the audio, that the audio off of this microphone sounds much cleaner and smoother. But that could just be in my head. So I as part of my day job, I do spend quite a lot of time on conference calls, and quite a lot of those I record for various reasons. And so I have had the opportunity to use this mic on those as well and hear how I sound. And it certainly sounds better on those recordings. But that could also just be the software. I'm not using the same screen capture software. I'm not even using the same computer. I'm using a PC for that work. So, and hopefully this, if I time lapse this, it's just going to be me rambling about this stuff. So maybe I will include 2 videos, which I know that I said I wanted to show the real time, and I do want to include the real time, but maybe I'll include both. Maybe I'll include a little time lapse, like a super fast time lapse, and then I'll include the reel right after it, just to kind of say, hey, you can skip it if you want to. So I wonder how late is it getting. So let me go ahead and make a bed really quick. And I'm going to also just put a torch on here, just in case I ever come across here. I'll know that I was here. I guess I'll know I was here for the most part anyway, but I don't need that wood. So there we go. All right. So now we have a bed. And we don't need this compass quite yet, so I'm just gonna put that away in my backpack. All right, so let's get back to the map. And we found this covered forest or mushroom forest place. I can't remember what they're called. Oh, hey, sir. Oops. Here I'm making a mess of the countryside. Oh, let me go get that far corner. Okay. Goodness, it is definitely shadowy in here. Okay. And now Now, I've done this with some some of the larger maps where I've actually maxed out everything, but I really just kind of wanted to see, hey, what's in my immediate surrounding to where I can walk to without extreme inconvenience. And I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody kind of has their little weird little things that they want to do in Minecraft, or strange things that seem like they would be fun. And this seemed like a fun thing to me today. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get some raw beef while I'm here. This might also make the the time lapse a little bit more interesting. I'm kind of excited to try that out. If you're wondering what I have been using to edit the videos, it is a piece of software called iMovie. So nothing too fancy or dramatic. I'm sure a lot of people use stuff like Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere, I think. I don't really know how to use those, and I imagine they're probably relatively similar. So I work in the computer industry, so it's not as intimidating as it may be to other folks to just pick up new software and learn it. But even if you're not comfortable with computers all the time, I would encourage anybody that is listening to just research it on YouTube. I mean, really, everything that I know about editing videos and stuff, I just kind of opened up iMovie and I went and just searched, how do I do X? And I mean, I really searched on Google because some of it is just sort of step by step, where you don't necessarily have to look for a video on YouTube. As a good example, and some of the things you can just kind of play around with. Once I figured out how to split a clip to isolate a part of the video in iMovie, which is really just right-clicking anywhere in the video timeline and saying split this here, and then you just split it wherever you want it to end, and then you can right-click on that part of the video and you can really do whatever you want to it. So in this case, for the purposes of doing a time lapse, you can just change the speed. I think you just right click on it and say something like, edit speed or show speed timer or something like that. So I'm also, you may be thinking to yourself, if you are watching this, why is he killing so many cows? Well, I'm also hoping to get my level 30 back, so that whenever we get back to the home base, we can go ahead and get that silk touch. So having a silk touch pickaxe is definitely critical. I need an unbreaking 3, silk touch, mending, all the good stuff. That's going to take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. So I'm trying to go ahead and grab level 30 as I can. And that way we don't have to necessarily kill our cows back at home quite yet, although that is what they're there for, so we can sort of harvest them for resources. But, I want to kill all the cows. So let's see, our little map's coming along. We're right up against the edge, so that's awesome. And that's also another good reason to get some coal, actually. The experience. So to get back to, I guess, sort of rambling about what I recorded the videos in, it's iMovie. So I think iMovie, if you have a Mac, is free. There's our level 30. But there is, on the PC, there's Microsoft Movie Maker, which I think is also free. And really, if you are just recording a video game, you can hit the Windows G key if you're using Windows 10, and you can record the screen. Now, the one thing I've run into with using the game, oh, see, that's just tempting. How can I not pop one down here? There could be like a spawner down here or something. That might be a little bit of iron, like there is right here. This is it's just too inviting to skip by. It has occurred to me as I have been recording these videos and listening to myself a little bit that I might become easily distracted sometimes. There's quite a bit of iron here. Oh, a spawner! Oh my goodness. That is really fantastic. Okay, so if you ever find a spawner like this, everybody, you don't want to destroy it. So this is fantastic. So we got a skeleton guy here. So this is what you do with a spawner. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with a spawner, but the great thing. Okay, so let's look at our map. Okay, so now we know where we are. We're really just off the edge of the map. So what we're gonna do is we're going to look at the spawner. Oh, I did it again. We're going to an F3 here, and we're going to do an F2 and take a screenshot. So now we know the coordinates of the spawner, right? Very, very simple. So now the great thing about this spawner is that we can actually make an XP farm out of this. So this is going to be definitely something for a future episode. Now that's assuming we can't find one closer to home, but this might be, this might be a great place. So let's go ahead and grab all this good stuff here. Oh, beetroot seeds. I'm not a big fan of beetroot plants. Oh, we got some horse armor. That's nice. So now we're kind of filling up our stuff. Let's see. Do we have anything to get rid of? Let's get rid of our rotten flesh. Go ahead and leave this one piece of wood here. Get rid of these seeds. Oh, we got melon seeds. See, now we can grow watermelons too. I'm going to get rid of these beetroot seeds. I actually don't know why I'm so excited about these, because I forgot we had some at the village that we were at. And I am going to eat that right now. And we'll keep all this other stuff. So this is pretty fantastic. Just in case we don't have anything else. And you know what we're going to do? I hear cows. So let's see if we can just get out of here in relatively short order. I'm worried we might be like in a mountain or something crazy like that. But and I should use my shovel. Fantastic, we're not. So here's what we're going to do here also. This is what I typically do. I'll build a little tower, right? And just put some torches on it, just so it's easy to see from all around. Yeah, the only bad part is this is very easy to see, at night. I'd have to build a much bigger tower to see it during the day, and I am not going to do that. If I had not taken a screenshot, I would probably do that, but I did, so I'm not going to. So now let's pop down here and I think I heard a zombie just there. Yep, definitely. So we will definitely need to clear out this surrounding area whenever we make a monster spawner, just to keep the mob count down. But I'm going to just leave that for another discussion another day. And let's go ahead and grab some iron. So this is a great find. So that's great. So, you know, I think, oh, there's a mine down there. That's nice. So a lot of people, you know, will tell you maybe don't get distracted by things, you know. And as a general rule, I think that's good. That's true. You know, you do need to have some focus and plan. But in Minecraft's a game. You can have fun. You can get distracted. You can run off into the distance. As I mentioned before, you know, make sure you have a plan. Make sure you know how to get back. But even if you don't, always remember, it's just a game. You know, have fun. You can lose all your stuff. And it's not the end of the world. So, and if you're really, really worried about it, if you're playing on your own machine like I am, just back up your world every once in a while. But, you know, losing all your stuff's part of the game. You lose, you start over, and that's part of the fun of Minecraft. So if you if you don't like doing the same thing over and over again, this may not be the right game for you to play. So there are plenty of games out there where everything changes all the time, and you can play some mini games in Minecraft that are like that. But if you want to play the Minecraft world, vanilla Minecraft, and just kind of run around and do what I'm doing here, you know, it's similar. Oh, okay. So it's nighttime. So let's pop into bed, see if we can sleep through the night without anybody attacking us. And we did. Excellent. So I actually don't remember the last time I went to sleep in the open and something attacked me. So, and I've watched quite a few YouTubers go to sleep by just putting down a bed and sleeping, and that's it. And I don't think I've seen any of them get awoken by something attacking them, which maybe they changed that. That used to be a thing. Okay. I guess I ate the bread. I don't even remember eating the bread. I guess I was just so I was so excited about finding the zombie spawner. And I mean, it's just such a great potential future episode. I mean, and there are certainly plenty of tutorials out there in the world on how to build a farm, an XP farm, using a spawner. So if you have found a spawner and you are intent on making your own, then by all means, I will eventually be constructing one, and I will show you how to do it. But definitely be aware that you can find help for that out there if you just go search for it. My goodness, that is a long drop. Some extreme droppage going on here. So, oh my goodness, that is unfortunate for those trees. So, but cool. So now we can, and so we should be able to see, or you can just barely see it on the map. There's a little red dot that there is you can just barely see that there's lava. So I don't think I can, I can't look any closer, unfortunately. So I'm going to go down here and grab the corner. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Sheep. My apologies. I know I'm in your personal space here. Your grass. You're busy trying to food, and I'm here like causing problems. Well, I promise I'm not trying to, sir. So I'm off. Okay, so now here we are at the edge of the map. And just want to see if we see anything interesting off in the distance. Oops. No, nothing too crazy that way. So let's head up the side here. So one of the reasons I was mentioning the microphone is I was just thinking about the equipment. So things that have changed since the last time I recorded a video. I have gotten a little arm to hold my microphone. So before it was just sitting on my, just kind of sitting on my desk in front of me, which is okay. But I was able to find, again, on sale. I'm all for finding stuff on sales. Found a nice Amazon gold box deal on a little microphone arm. And after doing a little bit of checking, I discovered that I could, in fact, attach it to this microphone that I have here, and that I could then move the microphone out of the way if I needed to, and suspend it up in the air a little bit, and it was a little bit easier for me to run wires and stuff like that. So that's been great. And I have a pop filter, which it's funny because if I say pop, I hear the P. And if you don't know, a pop filter is a little screen that goes in front of your microphone that's supposed to, I guess, get rid of that popping, the kind of, I guess it's sort of an intense volume pickup whenever you use the letter P. And I hear it sometimes. So another thing that I've changed that I was not doing before is I actually have my headphones plugged into the microphone audio. Oof. Ouch. And so the benefit of that is that I can actually hear myself. I can hear what it sounds like on the recording, I guess. So that way I can hear if I'm too close like this, then it's really loud in my ears. So that's helpful. And another benefit of having a little bit better mic, I guess that's a thing, at least for amateur type of people like myself. That's something that's a good thing, and it's helpful for me. I'm sure for many people it's not a there's probably a proper tool for measuring those sorts of things and fixing them to where everything sounds correct and looks great. But I really just want to play Minecraft and record videos that aren't totally junk. So, oh yeah, I think we did go and get some snow already. I can't remember, but we know where to get snow from. So look at that. That's a pretty cool mountain. It's a pretty cool, pretty weird, actually, kind of rock formation there. And this is kind of what I was talking about, that sometimes you might want to go off and look, because you might find a place that you think, this is great, this is perfect, this is where I want to build my perfect, castle that hangs over everything and looks down on the world and stuff like that. So I'm, as I mentioned, I'm pretty utilitarian when it comes to that sort of stuff. But well, how did you get set on fire? Oh, he's in the sunlight. Yeah, we'll just leave you behind, sir. I have no quarrel with you, my good friend. Well, I guess we're not really good friends, but kind sir, kindly refrain from attacking me. Did we get everything on this side? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting close to the corner here. So good. So we're making good progress. Oh, I need some food. So, as I was saying, my children are both actually very, very good. Although I would say my son, Mr. Red Cole, is I think a little bit more concerned with the aesthetic of the building, of the thing that he is putting together, the structure itself, and less concerned with the landscape around it. He tends to find a location that is relatively suitable in fairly quick order, and then generally will proceed to build a structure that is to his liking and look to make it look very cool. My daughter, who I've not recorded a video yet with, although hopefully we will eventually, once she's able to make some time to get over here. Actually, we tried to make a recording. Her and I and Quankian tried to make a recording all together, and we just ran into so many audio difficulties trying to get all three of us together. I think a very common thing to do is just use Skype, but we didn't have Skype installed on all the computers, and it just turned into kind of a setup nightmare, and we had very limited time, and so we just kind of scrapped it and went and did other family things together. So and then Quankian and I went on to make several, I think 3 or 4 videos after that. So so we had good time, but we did that later. So I expect sometime here in the next few weeks that my daughter will pop by and we'll try and make a video. So she, let's see, can we sleep yet? No, not yet. All right. She is actually a little bit more concerned about the environment. She will spend quite a long time looking for, this is got to be, I was going to say, it's got to be getting close to sleeping time. She'll spend quite a lot of time looking for the perfect overhang for, her wizard tower, or, some other structure that she wants to build. So, and me, myself, I don't worry too much about that sort of stuff. So I like to build machines and sort things, and that's kind of the thing I like about Minecraft. I like getting all the basics done. I like to get it to where everybody could come to my building and get all the resources that they need, and then they can run off and do whatever they want to do. So that's kind of my favorite thing to do, is to get a town, like a safe haven, prepared. And then even going on the adventures and going and beating the game is in some way about getting more resources so that I can make sure that everybody has resources that they might want. But I guess that's kind of a dad thing. That's what a lot of dads do, go out and get resources, hunt and gather, right? So that's kind of what I do a lot of times. Look at this. This is an interesting little place. I think we'll pop down here if we can really quick and get some of this iron. It's sort of floating around here. That's kind of nice. So it's probably worth mentioning, this is a good example of how, maybe you're mining around and you're just not finding the resources that you want to get. And so this is something that you can do sometimes. Just kind of strike out into the distance and walk around and look for caves and stuff, and you can very frequently find a lot of the resources that you want in caves. It's just if you're staying in one spot, then you will eventually exhaust the resources there, and then it becomes challenging to find stuff. So at least until you get a get a beacon and efficiency 5 pickaxe and really start strip mining things, which itself is very fun. So we'll get there. We'll get there. It just takes a little bit of time. So I'm also have another cool thing that I did recently. Cool Minecraft thing that I will get to, I believe, in the next episode, which I am stoked to see and look around and play with it and try and see what this new thing will, what this new project will bring for us. But I'm going to leave that for a future episode to go over, because going over it is going to be half the fun. Okay, so which way? So I still need to go up to that kind of mountain over there. Goodness gracious. All right, that's fine. So sometimes whenever I'm doing something like this, I'll just build across. So just in case anybody's watching this and trying to learn how to play, that's a very common thing, at least for me, where I would just build across, straight across from there to there. And I'm going to just not waste a lot of time getting up here. Gotta get over here and get this last little bit of brown on the map. Oh, goodness gracious. These are some scary mountains. I'm not a big fan of running around in the mountains like this. Seems like a surefire way to get... Ooh. Oh. So, pro tip, if you didn't know, you hold down a shift. You can walk up to the edges and you can't fall off. But my goodness, that was close. That might not have killed us, but it very well may have. So, goodness gracious, this is quite precarious indeed. So, can we make that jump? I think so. Yes. All right. Look at that. Now, I think we got all the brown off of there. Okay. Great. So let's start working on this. I think we need to head down here, though, a little bit, actually. Oh, my goodness. Maybe we'll see how this goes walking on the ridge of this mountain. This is pretty scary stuff here. Oh, the chicken's trying to push me off. Goodness gracious. This would be the world that I say, you know what we need to do? We need to get a map of this whole area. And then I spawn in mountains. Oh, oops. So that's pretty funny, but that's the way it goes. So we want to discover the mountains too. So let's see. So we got, okay, I'll keep that cobblestone. Burn through those last two pieces here in a little bit. There's some more lava over there. Let's see. Sadly, no really cool biomes, but with an area this small, I really honestly did not expect to find any ice, fancy ice biomes or mesas or anything like that. It seems that they're pretty rare. So another interesting thing, if you are not aware about Minecraft, is that the world generates as you're walking close to it. So that the seed generates and some of the terrain generates. Now you can you can put in a seed and you can generate what that world will look like. Because there are programs that will show you what your world will look like once it generates. And if you put seed, the seed is kind of like the key, let's say, to the world. And so if you put that seed into any computer, anywhere, any program, as long as it uses the same process to generate the world, the seed will always generate exactly the same world. So the seed for this world is, this is a seed. So if you type "this is a seed" into your computer and you're using the same version of Minecraft that I am, and probably the same version for quite a few versions back and quite a few versions forward, you will generate the same world. You'll spawn, I believe, in the same place. You'll spawn in the town, and so that's kind of what the seed is for. So, but one interesting thing about seeds is that even though they are the same, why do I hear so many zombies? What in the world is that? So there must be... I mean, I can hear them pretty loudly. Let's see if there's a cave entrance anywhere around here. That's an interesting piece of train generation. Okay, so let's pop back over here. All right, so this, I think I'm definitely going to have to investigate this a little bit. All right, so before I go and investigate that, let me finish my thought here. So if you, while the seed may not change and the world may not generate much differently, sometimes they add new blocks to Minecraft. So, you know, you may not want to go and just explore the whole world just for the sake of exploring it. That's why I'm kind of keeping myself sort of limited in where I'm exploring. And we're going to go ahead and wait for it to be nighttime here in a minute. Because sometimes they add new blocks. So as an example, one of my last worlds, we had explored quite a bit of the Nether. Just, you know, just walking around exploring, looking for fortresses and such. And actually, I probably should have left that bed there just in case I die here. So there might be a zombie spawner here, and this is it's closer, but not like tons closer. Oh, looks like there's a cave down there. So if you oh, let's not do that. So if you generate all the terrain, a lot of times you will not get the blocks. You won't get all the blocks. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of... Alright, well, it just looks like there's some bad guys. Nothing too special. So on we go. So if you generate all the terrain, then you may not get all the blocks. So as an example, when they added magma blocks into the game, I had to go very, very, very far away from my base and everything in the Nether, because I'd been everywhere. So there was no way for me to find any magma blocks that were anywhere near what was close to me. I had to actually go quite a bit off in the distance. Now, why do I need any magma blocks? I didn't really need any magma blocks. It was not a necessary thing. I mean, there's some stuff that's kind of cool about magma blocks, but they're not really necessary. I used one for a little while as a villager disposal in a block in a villager generator or villager breeder. But I eventually just switched that over to a lava based one. And actually in a future episode I may go back to that world and walk through it a little bit and just show some of the stuff that I already had in there, because it's a pretty complete world, and we never made any videos of it really. And I still play in it sometimes, actually. I spent some time in it just the other day. So that is something. I did spend some time playing Minecraft between the last time I played, but as far as videos go, I hadn't recorded a video of myself playing in quite a while. Oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna have to climb up this mountain still. Maybe I can walk around this side of the mountain. It'd be nice if we could find, it's so funny, like we had that cartographer. I'm kind of bummed out that we didn't get any maps or get anything from him. So another tip. So that's something really dangerous I just did. I was walking and I saw that dip and I didn't even look in it. And the odds are it's not going to be a hole, but odds are odds. If the odds are 1 in 100, well, one person out of 100 is going to be the one that falls in a hole in the ground and dies. So you don't really want it to be you. So you should always check. Definitely don't assume there's going to be a block there. The terrain generation is pretty smooth on stuff like that, but you definitely don't want to just take it for granted, because there are times whenever that's not the case, where it's not as smooth as it seems to be. Oops. Goodness gracious. Okay, I'm still good on health, alright. But doing things like that, you do damage your armor if you're not aware. Oops, almost forgot my map. So it's too bad we didn't get that cartographer. That's another thing. I haven't found one of those. I've never even seen one of those mansions, the new mansions, other than in a couple of Minecraft or a couple of YouTube videos. So I would love to find something like that. That would be very cool. Look at all the cows. I kind of want to go on a little cow killing spree, get a bunch of meat, but I'm not going to. We're already halfway through 30. I'm just going to leave these guys alone. Focus on closing out this map. Darkwood Forest. I think, is that what this is called? It is called a roofed forest. You can see it over there by biome. A roofed forest. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I remember when they added these. I really like these biomes. I think they're like something interesting, and they're not as annoying as the jungle biomes, which are fine, but you have a lot of underbrush in the jungle biomes that can be kind of annoying. So, but we do need a jungle biome eventually so we can get some cocoa. I guess need is probably too strong of a word, because I don't believe that you need cocoa for anything, because I don't even think there's an achievement for cookies, which I'm not sure what else you can use cocoa for other than cookies. Maybe you can make something else with it, but cookies are are pretty cool, but they really are not a great food in real life or the game. They're a good snack. They're not the most useful of foods though. They don't really fill you up very much, and they don't heal very much. So oh, there's a ravine. So if you've never seen one of these, that's what a ravine looks like. You can actually find these underground too, completely covered. We're holding shift as we kind of ease our way up here and look down there. So that's cool. And you can see the water just ran down there. So this, this chunk, this block of Minecraft just loaded up. So, and I think we can see that on the map, kind of. So if we were on a zoomed in map a little bit, then we would see that. And you can zoom out these maps. Now what I don't know is if you zoom them out, do they like I'm not 100% sure if I zoom one out, will it keep all of the stuff that we explored. So I'm gonna make a copy of this map whenever we do it. But we can find another ravine, but just because if I was playing by myself, and I am right now, a ravine is kind of an interesting thing. I'm going to make another screenshot. So, oops. Function F2 on the Mac. Function F3 to turn that off. Okay. And now back to our exploration. So there's, you notice me kind of carefully jump over that guy. Oh my goodness, this is actually a pretty long ravine. Some of these ravines some of them are kind of tiny. Some of them are pretty large. And you want to watch whenever you're running through the grass like this, the tall grass, you can fall into a ravine. I have definitely had my share of deaths falling into a ravine. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier, one of the great things about finding a skeleton spawner as opposed to, say, a zombie spawner or a spider spawner. Spider spawners in particular are more annoying because spiders are shaped kind of weird. Is that you get tons of arrows, which until we get infinity is a nice thing, and you get bones, and the bones are great because you can automatically grow crops. We can make a little automatic plant farm for basically anything that we can boost the growth with wheat. Oh, there's the I was about to say, oh my gosh, we found a village and it has some kind of new building type. Nope. There's our home right over there. Oh, you know what? I can see the little house now. I didn't recognize it just because we've been walking around so long. I didn't realize where it was on the map. And I actually see it's in that little hook. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and eat a little bit of food. Oh, the sun is setting, so that's pretty close to sunset. This looks like a good screenshot. So I've been thinking I might like to use some screenshots for some of the thumbnails instead of just relying on whatever random kind of screenshot it gives me. Or to give you a selection of 3. So if you don't know, whenever you make a video and you upload it to YouTube will look at it, and based on whatever, I'm not really sure, based on some kind of logic, it will look through your video and it'll give you three thumbnails to choose from. And so I usually choose one of those. I don't think that for any of these Minecraft videos that I've done, I don't believe I've done anything other than just do that, than just choose one of the 3. But you can upload a custom thumbnail. I think there's like a size limitation and some other things like that. But so here we are swimming in the swamp. So the good thing about having a swamp so close is that we could build a slime spawner. We really need to find a slime chunk. And, you know, the easiest way to find a slime chunk is to... oh my goodness, I'm gonna build a boat really quick. The easiest way is to use a tool online that will show you where all the slime chunks are, and then you can go to a slime chunk and you can make a slime farm. I just have such a hard time doing that. I'm kind of opposed to doing things like that. It's not like a bad thing. It just makes me a little bit not crazy. I just feel like it's cheating a little bit, I guess. You know, it makes it kind of too easy. I mean, you know, the whole point of the game is to explore. So, you know, it's kind of like if you were to... Oh, I didn't realize it will not hold my map up. So I guess I have to go a little bit and then hold the map up. Go a little bit. And then hold the map up. Go up a little bit. And hold the map up. Go up a little bit. Hold the map up. Alright. And we're just going to leave our boat there. Maybe we should bring it. Let me go and bring it, because I guess we'll be on the other side of this water maybe, and maybe there'll be a waterway that will make it very quick and easy for us to get back to our house. So